that than hanging up this. I was like, yeah, I like the look of that better. So let's not hang up this one.
Hi, my name is Daisy Woodbury. I am actually a first semester senior, graduating early. I'll be graduating in December. And my majors are theater, media production, and I have a minor in psychology.
Go. Light cue 20. Go. Sound cue C. Go.
Good evening, and welcome to the University of the Ozarks Department of Theater and Production.
My title for most of the semester is production stage manager. I was production stage manager for Pontypool, a play by Tony Burgess, and I am production stage manager actually for Desdemona, a play about a handkerchief, which is the show we're working on now. Production stage management is the managing of all actors and technical elements through the production of a show. Usually they're the one that will keep the director on pace, and during shows they are the ones who will call all of the cues, whether it be light, sound, projection, or anything out of the ordinary. Gosh, skills. A lot of skills. I have to say you have to be extremely organized. You also, the main skill I think that a lot of people lack or don't really take into consideration is leadership. As a stage manager, you have to be a leader. And if you can't lead your group to safety and keep them safe through all areas of production, keep them on schedule, keeping the show going, then I don't believe the show will be as successful as you need it to be. Leadership is really overlooked. Yes, you can be resourceful, you can have a lot of time put into it, you can be responsible, but without that sense of leadership, your boat's gonna sink in the nicest way possible. My advice for someone who wants to get into stage management is to be a team player. Without the rest of your team, you really won't be successful. If you find that camaraderie within your assistants or within your board ops or your designers or even your director and the actors, that sense of teamwork and camaraderie and friendship is something that you really can't replace. And finding that line between being their friend and being their boss and finding a way to respect them but also keep the train going and keep it going well is something that I think you should really work towards.
Tuesdays during the school year find University of the Ozarks chaplain Reverend Jeremy Wilhelm bringing the Word of God through music and scripture to everyone in the Munger Wilson Chapel. But his office is a refuge and a window into his world.
So the office for me is two things. One, it is another home. So when I think about what's in my office, I want to put things around me that make me feel at home and comfortable. And the second thing about the office I think is important is that it's an extension of my personality, and it's an extension of who I am as a person. So when somebody comes into my office, they get to see me and get to know me as an individual, but they also get to know me by what's around me. I have one stuffed animal in my office, just one, and it's Lotso Bear from Toy Story 3. Lotso Huggin' Bear was actually the bad guy in the movie, and but the interesting thing about the story of Lotso is that he apparently smells like strawberries. And when I found Lotso Bear at a Disney store, I sniffed its belly, and smells like strawberries. And I've had this for several years, and it still smells like strawberries. And the reason I have this bear, it's always reminded me that even the enemy has some goodness in them, and that our job is to find the good in everybody. And so even to love your enemies. And so Lotso reminds me of all those things, and I sniff his belly every now and again to remind me of the goodness that's in all people somewhere, somehow, even if it's deep. I also have this plastered mold of the Apollo 11, and it was in my grandmother's bathroom, and when she moved out of her house, I wanted it. And then when I got it after she had moved out, I ran into somebody who had one just like it, and they gave it to me. And then I found another one on eBay, and I got it. So I have 3 of them. One's in my office, one's at home, and one's in my wife's office. But I just love space, and so that's just one of those things. And it helps me remember my grandmother. Years ago, I was talking with a pastoral colleague of mine about a job he had encouraged me to apply for, and at the end I didn't get the job. And he knew how upset I was that I didn't get that job, and he wrote me a prayer in that moment. And after some time and how meaningful that was to me, I decided to print it and frame it, and it's in my office now as a reminder that people are surrounding me with prayer, and that's a reminder that not only does the pastor or the chaplain need to pray for others, but the chaplain needs to have prayers as well for him. Behind my door, I have all these name badges from all these events that I've been to, partly because I have a terrible memory. But the other is just to remember all the places that I've gone, all the places that I've been, all the places that I've engaged, mostly in ministry. So I'll go to a conference or I'll go to a meeting or whatever, and they'll say, please turn your name tags in at the end so we can reuse them again. And I don't do that. I keep them. And I want just to have that memory of where I've been and all the places that I've engaged with. And so it's my little memory wall in that regard.
Vianney Tran is a graphic designer and a photographer from the University of the Ozarks.
In 1976, and the reason that when the fall of Vietnam, my dad was helping with it's an ally with the U.S. So Laos also fall too. So we have to get out. So since my dad worked for the U.S. government, they sponsor us to come to the U.S.
Vianney served in the military for 26 years, and she has some interesting highlights about those days. And the one who motivated her to join was her father and uncle.
To meet all kinds of people, they're from all over the U.S. and come and meet, and we all have the same goal and mission. And when you wear that uniform, that's one of my highlights. You feel proud and be part of it. Well, the travel I like because you get to see places that give you the opportunity to see places that you never dream of. One of my highlights.
While serving in the Arkansas Air National Guard, Vianney Tran had one important job: information management personnel.
Help with the personnel, with the paperwork, organize and make sure we follow up to regulation.
Besides the military, she also feels that the UFO is also her family, and she feels there are some similarities between them.
The similarity because we are very close, tight-knit. And you feel, and the people is from different places, and you get to meet. Ethnicity. I'm married to a Vietnamese guy. His name is Cody Tran, and he worked at DMI for 40 years. It's a glass company, and he's a vice president and engineer. And my son, he's gonna graduate this year from University of Tulsa, and he's computer science major degree. I have a daughter who also attends University of Tulsa. She also majored in computer science. This is her first year. Here, I wear with my blue uniform. It's like your career field, like all the way to like 5th level, 7th level, whatever is your career field. You can tell by looking at that, your badge. That's what they call it, badge. And the highlight, I love to see the student accomplish when they graduate.
And there you have it.
That is the greatest.
Vianney
highlight,
Tran,
to see them
the
graduate.
story of a veteran.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mamie Gymnasium for the Wildcats, and the Eagles are going to win the ASC Championship 74-72.
Susan Edens, and I'm Associate Professor of Communication at University of the Ozarks.
I am Jimmy Clark, the Athletic Director at University of the Ozarks.
Hi, my name is Chad Floyd. I'm the Athletic Trainer at University of the Ozarks.
Josh Peppas, Sports Information Director.
Josh Peppas is, when you open the dictionary and you look up hardest working man in America, his picture is right there.
Peppas is a hardworking, quiet, behind the scenes, do everything that needs to be done kind of guy.
I've known Josh probably longer than anybody on this campus because we're both from the same hometown. And he's a couple years younger than me. I graduated high school with his sister. I've known him a long time. He's a great guy, just very honest, dependable, hardworking, dedicated. I could go on and on.
At the same time, I guess 22, 23 years ago, and Chad Floyd came in with us, and we're the only ones, the old timers, still around. And he's done so many things together. I can't really speak out because he's not going to do anything that kind of makes him stand out. He's pretty quiet, pretty low key. He's a smart aleck, and he'll say some stuff. And
U of O Eagle Sports, which is what we call it. I think in 2019, somewhere around that time, that we knew that sports was growing, sports media was growing, and we needed a more concentrated effort and way to have consistent productions. Asked the athletic department if they would like to form a more formal relationship with us, and we asked the administration just for their blessing, basically. No extra money, no extra personnel, just actually to pay students to be in that role of media producer, so it would be really consistent. And this, it would come in and work as a crew under those students, and that continues today.
Relationship is pretty obvious. I hire a lot of her students because they already have some experience in that, and it just fits really well, I think. It helps them build their resume and helps our athletic department do a lot of sports information things.
One time he had a thing up in his office with all the kids that have gone on to be SIDs themselves, and you know, I can think of several that worked with us and went on to do their own thing. And he really, you know, he develops them, gives them responsibilities, and then they grow and go off on.
You know, it was really cool. I was in the right place at the right time. The following year that I graduated, they opened up a full-time SID position, and I was already a student worker, so the athletic director decided to hire me. It was a pretty smooth transition. I already knew some of the coaches and some of the athletes, so I just kind of fit right in, I guess. Focuses on 5 major things: journalism, social media, photography, videography, statistician, and like a website maintainer. Sports, newspaper background, so that's kind of how I got into it when I was a student here. Helped write for the student newspaper and took a few classes. And then that's how I went in and started covering our games, a lot of basketball games and things like that. Athletes are great. Division III, they understand the importance of academics first, followed by athletics. So I really appreciate the D3 philosophy and how our coaches and student athletes, I don't know if the words obey, but follow that philosophy. Prepares them because that's what they'll potentially be doing as a career.
Interested in becoming a sports information director, and what that truly means, you know, he's going to give you meaningful things to do here that will help you in your career.
Ozarks Outdoors is the campus recreation department here at the University of the Ozarks, and we provide opportunities for students to get out and be active. We go on trips across the country. We do local programming as well. We have intramurals, and we check out equipment to students. The equipment that we have available is anything you would need to be active outdoors. And the way we do is we check out enough equipment for you and a friend. So if you wanted to go canoeing, you could take a canoe, or if you want to go kayaking, you could take 2 kayaks for you and your friend. We have stand-up paddle boards, we have bikes, mountain bikes, backpacks, tents, sleeping bags, sleeping pads, headlamps, all the cooking gear you would need, climbing equipment, and then lots of sports equipment like volleyballs, basketballs, soccer, wiffle balls, stuff like that. Ozarks Outdoors is a great resource for students. We have something for everybody. We check out bikes, is probably our #1, then disc golf, hammocks are really popular, and then probably our kayaks and canoes, stand-up paddle boards. Remember, those are our top 4 items that are checked out. Yeah, intramurals are our sport program that we facilitate, and they're very popular. I hear people say all the time that it's the most competitive thing on campus, and anyone can be involved. We have, intramural volleyball, basketball, soccer, ultimate frisbee, kickball, pretty much anything you can imagine. We look to add some more indoor programs this next semester, like chess, checkers, pool, ping pong, stuff like that. So yeah, all of our students that work here are work study students, and they honestly carry the program. They're what makes everything work. And we have 12 that currently work for us. We're going to hire a few more when we move into that new space. But I have great students, really enjoy working with them, and yeah, we have a good time. As the director of Ozarks Outdoors, my favorite part is the students, just connecting with students and hanging out with them. I mean, it really does feel like a family, and I enjoyed that. I can bring my kids and my wife on campus and to events, and it's a lot of fun. It's like just one big happy family.
It's a way of expressing myself. It's a way of saying things that I don't want to say through speaking. It's a way of expressing what I want people to know about my feelings. So it's a different way of giving a message through music. If I could describe what my guitar means to me, I would say that passion, friendship, love, and peace. Usually, people that want to see you playing an instrument, it's because they actually love it as well. So I would say that it's way easier, because the only thing that you need to do is just put into practice the things that you have learned in the past. So the way I connect is just like that, putting all my knowledge about the instrument and the love that I feel for it into practice in a stage. So it's way easier, because people also love it when they want to see me. This is actually what I would say to you. Just give it a try and just enjoy the process, and you will
realize that it's never too late to start learning something new. I can make you understand what I feel or how I'm feeling at the moment through the guitar. I will never stop my passion for this instrument, and I hope to teach as well this passion to my future generations.
What inspired you to think about something like this and make it happen?
In 2016, my late husband, Mark Stringer, was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. And so what my late husband wanted to do was he wanted to do a mud run. So we got a lot of volunteers. We talked to a lot of people that are close to our family and a lot of people that have been impacted by cancer personally, and they all jumped in with both feet.
Come on through station number 13 of Fire and Ice, baby.
In order to get through some of those obstacles and in order to get from point A to point B, you have to utilize the people around you to sometimes help you over those obstacles. Or, you know, if you're climbing over a wall, you have to have someone kind of leading you on the other side on where to place your foot. And that's how it is in a cancer journey. You can't do it by yourself. You have to have a team of people doing it. And sometimes it's complete strangers that become your team. Sometimes it's your best friends that are your team. Sometimes it's your family that's your team. And that all evolves as the cancer journey evolves. But a lot of times you're surrounded by strangers and you have to depend on them to help you get through. And so that's kind of the concept of what we do here. Is it's not just something that you can do alone. It's a race that you have to have other people supporting you through the obstacles to get to the finish line.
What would you say to people right now that are struggling with family members that have cancer or that have cancer themselves, and just the reality of it?
I would probably say to them that there are some days that are really bad and there are days where it's really dark, but you can stay there for a little bit, you're allowed, but you just keep having to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi, my name is Ariana. I am a junior and I am a wildlife biology major with minors in business, art, and religion. Involved because I am a wildlife biology major and I love animals. Animals are really something that I'm very passionate about, and this was something that I never thought I would have the opportunity to have. And so getting to do this research was something that was really exciting for me. Experience. It's been very interesting. I got to do some things I never thought I would do. I've helped feed, I've helped do tube feeding, which was really something that was exciting that I haven't had experience with before. Yeah, really like getting to see the animals grow up. The armadillos, they come in as babies and I just get to watch them grow up. And I think that's one of my favorite parts, is just seeing their personalities as they grow up and they get bigger. I don't think I really have any dislikes about the project. Yeah, I love it, and I am excited to hopefully do it again next year. The biggest takeaway is, for me, probably expect the unexpected. Always expect that I'm gonna learn something new. And that's exactly what's been happening. I have been learning so many new things, and I can't wait to continue to learn as I go through this research project.
photographer, and like many photographers, I struggled a lot with lighting. I didn't know how to set up my lights in order to get the best result. And as a portrait photographer, lighting is a really important subject I needed to master. And I didn't master everything in lighting, but I got some tips I wanted to share with you today. And we're gonna talk about the 3 different type of setup you can do with lights. A 1 light setup, a 2 light setup, and a 3 light setup. The first one is only with a key light. The second one is with the fill light and the key light. And the third one will be with the key light, the fill light, and a background light. I'll be using 3 light from Westcott. My main light will be a strobe, the FJ400, and my 2 fill light and background light will be a speed light, the FJ80. I'll have a model, Elodie. So with her, we're gonna try to work around the 3 light setup, and I will show you the result after each one.
I'm using a grid to prevent the light from being spilled all over the place or all over the background. So the purpose of the grid is to concentrate the light on the subject's face. And for this main light, I am using a 36 inches beauty dish to diffuse the light. The second setup is with the main light and a fill light. The fill light will be the speed light FJ80, and its purpose is to fill in the shadows created by the main light. I will be using a S-Log deep umbrella to diffuse the light. For the third setting, we will combine the main light, the field light, and add a third light. We will use another speed light, the FJ80, and the purpose of this light is to separate the subject from the background. We can place it in different positions because it can serve as a hair light, but also as a shoulder light. It depends on the photographer and what kind of interest they want to create in the picture. That was the 3 different types of setup you could do with your light when you're doing photography. A 1 light setup, a 2 light setup, and a 3 light setup. I hope you guys learned something today, and I enjoyed sharing these tips with you. If you want to check out my work, this is my Instagram, Shot by Sarah. Thank you for watching.